What's up, September? It's me. So this episode begins with agnostic Diddy Kong.
DK, I was just thinking. The Temple of Inkadinkadu has been here forever, hasn't it?
Longer than forever.
So, who built it? I mean, if it's been here longer than forever, whoever built it must have been on Congo Bongo.
So naturally, DK suggests that Diddy confronts Inkadinkadu about his new agnostic beliefs. Ink says that they are not allowed to know that, and edgy agnostic Diddy Kong mocks him for this. K. Rool is planning a plan that is secret. Crazy, huh? The jokes revolving around this are not played that well in my opinion. Diddy Kong then asks Cranky who built the temple, to which he responds that it's mysterious. Not that there's anything wrong with that. The edgy agnostic Diddy Kong then questions the predominant religion of Congo Bongo to Funky Kong. However, Funky Kong states that he knows who built the temple, that being the ancient green alien dudes. Personally, I like to interpret this as the writers making fun of paganism, that being how pagans choose bits and pieces of whatever religion they want in their metaphysical fan fiction. In all seriousness, though, the series of Diddy Kong asking the questions is just really boring. Sure, there's hints that the cast is trying to hide something from DK and Diddy, if you can call those hints, or if you can call that entertainment. Later that night, Funky Kong serenades DK and Diddy about interplanetary visitor dudes, and how they are going to turn the apes into zombie slaves.
They got gruesome pointy tongues they can stick in your ear. They haven't cleaned their toes or fingernails all year. They'll suck out your brain with their mind control vibes and leave your head as empty.
Funky Kong does a simply okay job with this song, but the visuals are extremely awkward. Did they think that someone asked them for a song in which they receive close-up of Funky Kong's pearly whites? One of the more interesting lines in this song is, "They'll make you their slaves, cage you up in a zoo." It's kind of like the humans are the aliens all along. He then states that their mind control can be broken by means of a green banana and hopping up and down on one foot. Overall, this episode is okay in concept, and Funky Kong may even sound fun to you guys. But I have a hip and hoppin' metaphor that describes what this episode is actually like. So Funky Kong is like a nice plump cinnamon roll. But then that cinnamon roll gets put underwater for 30 minutes. That water is the rest of the episode that drags down Funky Kong's fun sequences with just boring nonsense like the Clump side plot, or the Diddy's birthday side plot. Spoilers, that's what they were hiding from them. Whereas a good episode would be like instant oatmeal, except that instant oatmeal tastes really good, and that the added water provides excellent support and hypothetically enables the episode. Diddy and DK laugh at the pagan while swinging in the jungle, but then they see a UFO and immediately believe in interplanetary visitor dudes. The UFO that Diddy and DK saw earlier turned out to be K. Rool's secret project, so I assume DK and Diddy were used to represent the naive fools that believe in paganism. It is also revealed that Krusha was in this machine called the Boomerang-a-Barrel, and that it always comes back. I wonder what year humans will achieve an invention as complex and useless as this without AI. DK and Diddy report about the interplanetary visitor dudes to Candy, Dixie, and Cranky. Candy and Dixie don't indulge, however Cranky straight up calls their religious doctrine out as science fiction, which it is. Also, in this scene, Cranky Kong threatens abuse, which is true to form when you look at the Donkey Kong Country manual.
I'll smackify the both of you if you don't knock off this science fictional nonsense.
The mentally and physically unstable Funky Kong greets Cranky, Dixie, and Candy, and they go up into Funky Kong's house to have a meeting. As they are doing such, they are frozen in place. DK and Diddy then catch up to them, and the writers use the shared theme of secrecy to create dialogue that will make DK and Diddy suspicious. That being having Funky Kong and the others talk about how secret this plan is and how important it is for them to not know. And this is fine in my opinion. It could have been played a bit better, but it's still well done in my opinion. Diddy then goes off to get some green bananas while DK confronts the goons. But they find him when some surfboards that were not here before fall on him. Upon confrontation, Funky Kong reveals that he got his pagan beliefs from the Late 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 Show, which does bring into question Funky Kong's faith to his religion, but regardless, this isn't enough to convince DK that they aren't zombies. On account of this information, they inform DK that they are having a surprise party for Diddy, and that DK wasn't told because he can't keep secrets. With this newfound knowledge, he informs Diddy that they are being ridiculous the whole time, but since he can't come up with an explanation for the meeting at Funky's, Diddy concludes that DK became a zombie as well.
You're one of them! Those interplanetary brain nappers have turned you into a space zombie to do their evil bidding! No, Diddy, wait! DK! If you're still in there, don't...
Diddy meets the blind, wandering Clump, but he concludes that Clump is not a zombie due to the xenophobic idea that he doesn't have a brain. In all seriousness, though, the war between lizards and apes is just an us versus them mentality. Throughout these sequences, Diddy uses his banana as a gun, which it basically is in Smash. Clump initially laughs at Diddy's proposition that they work together because of the zombie apes, but then agrees upon seeing the boomerang barrel, which he didn't see previously. Notably, there's one scene that's a missed opportunity.
The whole world is being invaded by interplanetary visitors and turning everyone into zombies!
I think this could have been cut better with some sort of supercut. Clump then goes to K-Rool with the information of the UFO. In response to this, K-Rool breaks into a fearful song about the alien invasion in which he romanticizes Diddy Kong by insulting him.
Aren't you sick of being a zero? Just look up and watch the skies. It's up to you to watch the skies!
His purpose in this is to make him take the crystal coconut for him. I feel like this is the kind of K-Rool interaction I like. It legitimizes him as a villain and plays a fun twist on K-Rool's scheming to get the coconut. While this song could be much better musically, even with that title though, it is absolutely not one of the classics of this series for good reason. Despite those negatives acting towards it, the purpose it serves for the narrative is fun, unique, and in character with both Diddy Kong and K-Rool. The surprise party is revealed to be an Inkadinkadoo's temple, which is only really weird. Seriously, imagine if you were edgy agnostic Diddy Kong in this scenario. By the way, if anyone was wondering what citizens of Congo Bongo are called, it is Congo Bongian, according to this one Diddy Kong line. So Diddy Kong takes the crystal coconut and DK starts chasing him through the jungle. Really, it's just lame overall and Donkey Kong wins. Eventually, the minecart hits a log and the crystal coconut falls out. In case you're wondering, I don't have as much of a problem with this as Krusha probably would have hit the minecart regardless, or they would have messed something up, but this also does not mean I found this scene enjoyable or visually interesting. In fact, it's really boring like the majority of the episode. There just isn't enough charm there. It's like reading a book with only the details and no events. This is the kind of episode that gives me the opportunity to clown on pagans because there isn't much to critique. It's just mediocre. The screen time of each character is cut so evenly that it's hard to even point out a character carrying or bringing down the episode. In terms of the characters, all I can really say is that Funky Kong is good, Cranky is great in his few moments, and Diddy is alright. The rest of the characters have no negatives really, they just exist. Now, if I were to compare Donkey Kong Country episodes to things you do at Disneyland, most episodes would be a roller coaster. Not in that they are widely enjoyed, but because they have their ups and downs. But this one is like staring at giraffes in Animal Kingdom for 23 minutes. Sure, sometimes it'll be comedic, but most of the time it just sits there, staring deep in my eyes. Anyways, on to the rankings.
In every monkey's life comes a time when you should stand up and fight.
It was clear by this episode's mediocrity that it was absolutely not going higher than It's a Wonderful Life. But it was also clear that this episode wasn't as trash as Barrel Barrel. So originally in my Bluster's Sail Extravaganza review I praised the episode. Honestly, I don't know what I was thinking, it's not very good at all. It's likely that my review was just, in general, from a more positive outlook. My sincerest apologies for that. With this said, Bluster's Sail Extravaganza has a few moments that I would outright call boring, and that is minorly supported by its songs. The plot of the episode puts a fun spin on Diddy Kong, I think, but it ends up making Diddy Kong the only functional character in the majority of the episode other than K. Rool at the end. But even K. Rool does not have much of a build-up for his character, and to him tricking Diddy Kong just came out of nowhere and really was not matching his previous actions in the episode at all. Donkey Kong acted similar to Diddy Kong in their hijinks of trying to save the island from the non-existent aliens. However, his story is wrapped up when the narrative decides to clue him in on the fact that they were actually planning a surprise party. This just ties him in with the hive mind that is the rest of the Kongs in this episode. And their collective narrative resulted in the non-flamboyant ending of this episode in which Diddy is wished a happy birthday. The ending of this motion picture is made worse by the fact that we cannot see anything and are treated with a pan out of the outside of the temple. This, combined with the church wafer-like chase sequence, also brings this episode down, and I think that the ending is pivotal to why this episode is just not memorable at all. So I'll be ranking this episode above Bluster's Sail Extravaganza. With that said, I'll leave my Discord and Twitter below. You can download the Deep Dream Generator images I used in my Discord, and I hope you have a happy Inka Dinka birthday.